So I'm knocking out a lot of videos today, and you will likely see me in my same sweatshirt at this coffee shop because I'm not going to not put out the video just because I need to change for the video. It's pointless. So a lot of people ask me, Bree, how did you start your app with $1,000? And a lot of people don't believe me. So I would love to walk you through the story on number one, how Jem Social started, why I started Jem Social, and how I was able to start the app with $1,000. First and foremost, for those who know me, they know that I used to be a DJ, and I lived in Miami, Florida, and I helped support myself in college being a DJ. I was making like $8 and 50 cents an hour at school during a work study program, and I got frustrated every 2 weeks seeing like $200 in my check because I was already making $600 from DJing for particular gigs, like for example. So it was really frustrating that I could show up at a gig for 4 hours and make basically my entire month's paycheck. So I decided to just put more effort into finding gigs. But that took me a lot of time. And why did it take me a lot of time? It was because one, I didn't have a network. I was new to Miami, Florida, and I was 19 years old. So I already couldn't really go to a lot of the places that I was actually looking to be a DJ at. But nonetheless, I didn't have any what we consider plugs, like people to at least give me a gig, even if it was for free, so I could showcase my talent. There was really any platform that really helped me do that in the first place. And I really was looking for somewhere or some kind of network to allow me to scale as a DJ. Then when I did start scaling as a DJ, I saw that there was this whole influencer thing. So I thought, okay, well, I'm a DJ, I'm in the music world, I'm in the music scene. What platform could I sign up with that could help me get some more influencer collaborations? And I signed up with a few, but a lot of the platforms were only gifted collaborations, meaning I'm putting in all this work for them just to get something for free. And half of the time I didn't actually really need the product. For example, a skincare brand had sent me out some skincare stuff, but I already had skincare products. So realistically, it was just another brand that was just sitting on the shelf. And that's when I knew that I had to really probably dial in more into certain niches to see what would benefit me if I did work on a collab that was gifted. For example, if a camera got sent to me, well, of course I wouldn't charge for the collaboration because that's worth thousands of dollars or even hundreds of dollars depending on the camera. Like if I've received another Osmo Pocket, I could put another one right here to shoot different angles. So that would make sense. Nonetheless, I couldn't really find the platform designed for me. And then even when I started looking for influencers or booking DJs or booking photographers, there wasn't a platform for me to pay them, submit a payment, and then they get paid by them providing the service, other than Fiverr and Upwork. But I use Fiverr and Upwork for digital services, like finding a developer, finding a designer, even sometimes finding simple edits and little things, right? Or a virtual assistant. But I want to hold on to the Fiverr and Upwork piece because that's actually part of my story. So next was, all right, I have the idea. Now, can I find a co-founder? Because I didn't want to go into this as a solopreneur. With it being a marketplace, I already knew that it was going to take so much time and effort out of my day, out of my life. And I knew that I needed a partner, especially somebody who's already suffered from this problem in the past. So I went on Indie Hackers, and I ended up finding my co-founder, Pete, who's the Chief Technical Officer. He has over 20 years of experience in software development. He also has a lot of infrastructure and data experience, and I think that's really important because a platform like this could scale quickly depending with the right marketing and branding. So we always wanted to make sure that we were set up for success. So that way, if we was to hit 100,000 users tomorrow, we have the infrastructure in place for that. And that's not the experience that I carry. I carry more front-end development and design experience, and I also have project management and product management experience over the last pretty much 12 years in the tech industry. So that helped me a lot. So we already came together, joined forces. He also is a past photographer. He went to school in New Mexico for art. It was a perfect fit because he's already a creator, I'm already a creator. So it's cool, now let's solve this problem together. So moving forward, I ended up coming across no-code platforms because I don't feel like you should spend a lot of money just validating the idea. And no matter if the app looks maybe semi-shitty, you should not spend a lot of money trying to just validate your idea, because essentially you're going to end up spending more money in the future just iterating on it. So we found a platform called FlutterFlow, and I ended up finding what's called a FlutterFlow developer or agency through Fiverr. FlutterFlow I ended up getting for free because it was super, super new. They just had hit the market, and then they had opportunities where if you volunteer as a quality assurance tester and find bugs in the platform and you just update their GitHub repository, you get the platform for free. I thought that was a fair deal. I didn't have to spend a lot of money, which at the time I believe was like $70 a month, or $20 a month if you have a developer in India and they use it. But I wanted to have my own account. So let's say that I saved about $700 just from that. And that was helpful. So now we have FlutterFlow at $0. Okay, next was the developer. I ended up finding a developer in Europe, believe it or not, and he only charged me $800 to build out the version, basically beta test version of Jem Social. It was really simple. We just had them put together an app that allows people to match with each other. It wasn't a marketplace, it wasn't a gig board, there wasn't anything else. We just wanted to see if creators would at least match with each other and if they interact with each other to collaborate. And we did see that. As soon as we launched, we saw over 500 matches in maybe less than 4 or 5 weeks. We had about 700-800 users, and we were quickly able to see that, okay, people do want to collaborate with each other and scale together. So we knew that that was a good feature to keep. Then I got into a pre-accelerator, and I decided I wanted to fully flesh out the rest of the app. But before we get into that part, and I likely will talk about that in a different video, let's just remember that I paid $800 for that developer. But I also needed the actual app to be designed to pass it along to the developer. So let's talk about how much the design was. I sketched out a few designs and wrote out what I was looking for, and I was able to find a designer for $120. He designed the whole entire app for me. He pretty much gave me a bulk price of anywhere between I think like $7 to $10 per screen, because it was just a mobile app. It wasn't a website yet. So we worked with him. We got some pretty basic designs done in Figma. We still have the Figma files to this day, and we still work with the same designer. So yeah, $120, then $800 for the developer. What we did was I created a PowerPoint of each part of the design. So like homepage, this is what this is going to do. Match page, this is what this is going to do. Discover page, this is what this is going to do. Settings, like just a few pages, and I just literally walked the developer on what the user should experience and what are the requirements. Nowadays, you can use ChatGPT for this. You can literally talk about what your app intends to do on each page, and ChatGPT will gladly write up what the user story should be, meaning how the user should use the app, the technical requirements, even the testing requirements for each page. So I didn't have ChatGPT back then, but I use it now, and it makes it so much faster to iterate new features in a way where the developers can understand what I'm talking about. So that's that. So now we're close to, let's see, $120, $800, some other associated fees. Apple Developer Program is $99, so I did pay for that as well. I also had to get a domain name just to slap like a landing page together, because I did put together a wait list. I used, what did I use? It was 2 years ago. Some landing page builder. You could also use WordPress, Wix, pretty much. You could use any, Webflow, but I used some other platform that was popular back then. Anyways, altogether, it was like $30 between the domain name, putting the landing page together, and getting that software for the year so we can collect emails. I also use MailChimp. I use MailChimp to collect the emails. I use a free plan. You don't need to pay for a plan to just get some emails and update them. Use a free plan. If you do get over, I guess, 1,000 subscribers, then I would suggest maybe paying for an additional plan, because it depends what kind of app that you're putting out and what kind of momentum and traffic that you get. But like I said, if you can get it for free, get it for free. So now we're like a little over $1,000, but I'm keeping it plain and simple because I want you guys to know just what I use, how I went about it. And if you have any questions, you can find me on Instagram at Bree Flemings. If you have any more questions about vetting the right designer, vetting the right developer, et cetera, I can get into those on separate videos if you guys want that. But I just wanted to show you that it really is possible to build an app for $1,000. And even though that was back then, there's so much talent out here that's looking to like build with you on Fiverr, on Upwork, and you can put up your budget. I do want to be very honest. If you are trying to build like some big crazy AI app with all of these different features and all of these different pages, you do have to realize that it likely could cost you more than $1,000. Again, I try to keep it as simple as possible. There is this term or acronym called KISS, literally keep it simple, stupid, because you have to not overwhelm your users or your potential customer. And I learned that the hard way, because even with what I put out, it still was a little too much for what everybody needed. So I'm working to simplify it. If you add all these crazy features, that means that you're probably going to spend a lot of time bug fixing these features. So try to stick to just the core feature that can help your customer. For example, let's say that you're trying to get people to drink more water and have some kind of water tracker. Like, just what is the problem? What is it solving? Are you going to send reminders to make sure that this person is drinking water at 8 a.m., 12 p.m., 6 p.m., and see where they're at every day and then see where they're at every week? Like, cool, but find the main feature that's solving the problem. Not, oh, I'm gonna have a water tracker and then a soda tracker and then a calorie tracker. Like, no, just stick to the simple feature and build from there, because that's what's gonna cause all these extra costs associated and bug costs and likely switching developers. So keep it simple. Like I said, I use FlutterFlow. That's my personal opinion. There are other no-code platforms like Bubble, Outalo, and I'm sure there's other no-code platforms that maybe I don't even know about right now. I don't like them. I personally really did enjoy FlutterFlow. I still use a lot of the code base from FlutterFlow. I will say that because FlutterFlow was so new, back then, a lot of the code was kind of crappy when we exported it and started doing our own custom development and our own code repository. But it is a good way to start, and I'm never going to crap on FlutterFlow, because FlutterFlow helped me get where I am today. So, like I said, totally recommend using it. I would say now that this video is shot 2 years after I started, maybe you might have to increase your budget to like $1,500 to $2,000. But that might not be bad, because that's still basically the cost of rent for some places. And if you have a co-founder, maybe you could split it. Maybe you can raise money with your friends that believe in you. There's just so many ways to get started. But I do just recommend that you get started, because a lot of us have great ideas and we're just sitting on them and we're not monetizing, and that's a no bueno. So that's how I started my app for $1,000.